Hello and welcome to the All Rookie Podcast. I'm your host, William Harris, aka William is Bill, and we are back with another episode of the All Rookie Podcast. On this episode, I'm going to let you know, recap the players that were undrafted, the best players that were undrafted. Most of them have signed with NBA teams, whether it's an Exhibit 10 or a two-way contract. But I just want to let you know some guys that were borderline draftable that did not get drafted, but that doesn't mean the story ends for them there. They have an opportunity still to make the team. Some will be guaranteed with the G League and go up and down from G League to the main squad and back down and up. You've seen it in the past. Some guys get real opportunities like that. And then other guys have an Exhibit 10 contract where that's just an opportunity to make the team. And basically, you're like two levels away from the NBA. So there's the NBA, there's the G League. Then you have an Exhibit 10. You're basically trying to hang on, pretty much going to only play in the G League all season. So let's get straight to it like it's nothing to it. My best prospects that went undrafted in the 2026 NBA draft. Starting with my 30th ranked prospect, Milos Uzan from Houston. He signed an Exhibit 10 contract with the Celtics. But Milos Uzan, I believe he definitely should have been drafted. He's an All-American as a junior season. Had the same stats as a senior, and he played with Kingston Fleming. So, he took a back seat. His numbers and production could have went up dramatically, but he's a great point guard, great size, great handles. You never really can pressure him. He's always under control, and he reminds me of Andrew Nembhard from the Pacers, and I truly think he's a pro player. He's not going to be flashy and get you 30 points a game, but he's a pro. And I think he can handle the team when the main point guard is down or injured. He'll be one of the best backups in the league with some time. So Milos Uzan, 30th ranked prospect, signed with the Celtics. Next is Jalen Sellers, my 35th ranked prospect. He signed a two-way contract with the Bulls. So he will for sure be up and down with the Bulls all season. And depending on injuries and need, you may see him on the NBA court more than you think. But Jalen Sellers, 6'4" from Providence, 40% from three, 43% as a senior, 40% as a junior. Super athletic guard with great size. He had a bad injury 2 seasons before that caused him to miss a year. So he was a 5-year senior. But so his age is a little high. So that's probably the reason why he went undrafted. But he definitely deserved to be drafted. He's a lefty. He's a pro. Great shooter, great handles. Just needs to work on his passing. He only had 1.5 assists per game. But he's a shooting and scoring guard for sure and brings a punch with him. Very fast, will dunk on you, steady applying pressure on the defense, can play defense as well. I'm very surprised Jalen Sellers was not drafted, but not surprised he signed a two-way contract with the Bulls. Another player undrafted was Keyshawn Hall, my 39th ranked player. He signed an Exhibit 10 contract with the Heat. I think he should be able to make the squad because, they traded a lot of players to get Giannis. And so they have some openings there. He has a good opportunity. Keyshawn Hall, 6'7" from Auburn, averaged 19 and 7 per game. And he's just a big-time scorer. Plays like an old-school small forward. Think of like Paul Pierce style. Grown man body, can play in the post or the perimeter, can hit the three, can take you to the paint, fade away, all that. Had a 40-point game, multiple 30-point games. It's insane that Keyshawn Hall was undrafted, and even more insane he didn't get a two-way contract. But expect to see him on the Heat. I think he will really step it up and make something of himself. Number 38 on my list is Lamar Wilkerson, my 38th ranked prospect. Signed with the OKC Thunder on an Exhibit 10 contract. Played at Indiana, 21 points per game and a steal per game. 38% from three, 44% from three. The previous year, incredible three-point shooter, super deep range, great athlete, great size, great handles. He just doesn't pass the ball as much as you would want, but he's NBA ready, has good size. Everything he does will translate. He had 10 threes in a game in Indiana. So dynamic point guard, not reckless, can shoot it from deep range, had a 44-point game. It's truly insane to me that Lamar Wilkerson did not get drafted and that he did not get a two-way contract either like Keyshawn Hall. So that's telling you right there, there needs to be expansion in the NBA, I feel. And they're working on it with Seattle, and Vegas, but it can't come soon enough. It's so many talented players that are getting swept under the rug and forgotten about. And if, say you have an injury or you're on a two-way or Exhibit 10 and you're in the G League, you're not getting minutes in the G League for no fault of your own. You get banged up, and then your opportunity just passes you by and you never get another shot. So, we'll see what happens with those guys. But those are my guys in the 30s that went undrafted. That shows you how talented they are. Let's talk about my guys in the 40s. First of all, my 42nd ranked prospect, Cade Tyson, one of the few prospects that has not signed anything yet. Have to keep an eye out on him. Very talented forward, 6'7", averaged almost 20 points per game, 5 boards and a steal, 41% from three, and he hasn't signed anything yet. That doesn't make any sense. So I'll keep you posted on Cade Tyson. It's only like 2 of these prospects that are not signed yet. I don't know what's going on with that, so we'll see. 43, Mark Mitchell signed an Exhibit 10 with the Nuggets, 6'8", 18 points per game, 5 boards, almost a steal and half block per game, 39% from three. Dynamic small forward, can play the 4 as well. Had 2 32-point games this year, can play in the post or the perimeter, can shoot the 3. I just don't understand. He played at Duke, but then he transferred to Missouri. So maybe if he stayed at Duke, he would have got drafted. But he wasn't getting the opportunities at Duke, came to Missouri and really showed out. And it's truly unfortunate he didn't get drafted. He had a teammate, a former teammate, that did get drafted, and I didn't think he deserved to. I believe that was Malik Brown. But crazy Mark Mitchell did not get drafted. But hopefully he'll make an opportunity for himself with the Nuggets. That's all we can hope for. My 44th ranked prospect, Kadir Copeland from NC State, signed a 2-way contract with the Rockets. So that's really good. Remember, you see a 2-way guy, you know he's going to be around. 6'6", play point guard, can play the 2, 6.5 assists per game and 14 points, 40% from 3. Excellent passer, incredible at creating steals. When attacking the rim, he can blow by you. Good cutter. He played a little out of control at times, but that's what the NBA's job with the professional coaches are. Get that under control. You have a dynamic prospect that can do multiple things for you. And even if you use him as a 3-and-D guy, you can do that as well, because a lot of times players do a lot on their college team. When they get to the NBA, they get reduced to a certain thing they do best. Like, oh, you're a great defender. That's all we want you to do. Great 3-point shooter. That's all we want you to do. Some cases, you get to do both, be 3-and-D. But Kadir Copeland can do an array of things. He definitely should have been drafted, but it's good that he did get a 2-way contract. All right, number 48 in my rankings is Malik Reneau, the 6'9" forward from Miami. Averaged 19 points, 6.5 boards, 1 steal, 1 block. Great size, 35% from 3. Scoring forward, knows how to use his body to create space and opportunity. Just a good all-around player with that NBA body. Can do multiple things very well on offense and defense. Not very fast, but he knows how to score, flourishes in the pick and roll. Malik Reneau definitely should have been drafted. Definitely should have gotten a 2-way contract. Only got an Exhibit 10 from the Lakers. We don't like that, but hopefully he can take full advantage of that opportunity. Next on my list, Robert McRae, my 49th ranked prospect, signed an Exhibit 10 with the Lakers. Had a game with 16 assists. Very athletic, 6'4" point guard, averaged 16 and 6 assists per game and 4 boards per game. Great vertical, very fast, great crossover, great vision. He's a guy that will play NBA minutes for sure. He just needs the opportunity. And with the Lakers, it's tough. They don't like to play rookies at all. Kind of like what Yaxel said about the Warriors, but he's a dynamic shooting guard in a point guard's body. So he can play the 1 or the 2, and he'll just come out of nowhere and dunk all over you if you think he's just a point guard. So Robert McRae, great signing by the Lakers. I hope he gets a 2-way. Hope he gets a standard contract. We will see. My 55th ranked prospect is Nate Biddle, the 7-footer from Oregon, averaged 17 and 7 with 2 blocks a game, and you don't get drafted, and you don't get a 2-way contract. It's crazy. Nate Biddle, an Exhibit 10 with the Raptors. Shot 32% from three as well. He needs to work on his strength, gets good paint position, but goes up weak at times. So he needs to get stronger and bigger. So the NBA is for, but really good shooter and very smart out there on the court. Excellent shot blocker and rim protector, even though he's relatively slow and not really athletic. So, I can see why he was not drafted. But at the year before, he looked better out there. So I really think it's just conditioning. But, like I said, I had him 55, so there's only 60 players that get drafted. I can tell why Nate Biddle didn't get drafted, but he should have been a borderline draftable player. To go undrafted and then not get a two-way contract, that's kind of ridiculous. So I guess teams are not seeing the vision that this guy only needs this one thing or these two things, and we can make something of him. I don't know. That's just how it's been going so far. All right, next on my list, we have Nick Boyd, my 57th ranked prospect, signed an Exhibit 10 contract with the Warriors. 6'3" from Wisconsin, averaged 21 points, 4 boards, 4 assists, and 1 steal per game. 36% from three. Very fast point guard. He does look small out there. He measured a little shorter than 6'3". He's really going to be 6'2" with shoes on. So that does matter to NBA teams. But this year, oddly enough, it didn't because 2 players were drafted that were super short, way shorter than him. So you had Gillespie and you had the kid that Indiana took that both Braden Smith and Jacoby Gillespie. Both were drafted, both 6 feet. Nick Boyd is 6'2". He is a 6-year senior. So if those 2 years make you feel worse about a player than someone that's 2 inches shorter, I would go with the 6-year senior. But, he's 25 years old. But vision is special. Great point guard. He's a baller, shooter, handle, silky smooth finisher at the rim. Nick Boyd should have been drafted. Should have got a 2-way. Got an Exhibit 10 with the Warriors. Next on my list, Rafael Castro signed a 2-way with the Bucks. My 57th ranked prospect. So that's good. He got a 2-way. But 6'10", 15-9 with 2 steals and 2 blocks per game. That's great stats right there. Played at a small school, George Washington. So that hurt him, but he's an excellent defender and lob threat player with a good hustle on him. He just needs to keep progressing, and he can be something for this Bucks team, especially this Bucks team that's rebuilding. All right, next on my list was Elijah Mahi. Mahi Tuna. No, the 6'7" signed with the Thunder, but it's a summer league tryout contract. So he's basically going to get a shot in the dark to make the team. He's going to have to show something in the summer league to get to hang around. And, that's tough. But he's from Santa Clara, averaged 14-5, 34% from three. Really good shooting guard, moves very well out there. Nice handles, can score for himself. And there weren't that many shooting guards in this class. I think he was one of the good ones. So he may need a year of polish in the NBA, but he's ready for the NBA. I need to polish a year in the G League, but he's a pro. He has pro skills. They just may need to be refined in a manner that will be acceptable to NBA teams. All right, next on my list is Muhammad Amini, and I will mention him, really good international player. He is unsigned, not signed by the NBA. He's going back to France. So he was one of my top international prospects. It didn't work out for him, so he's going back to France. You can't hate on that. So what can you do? It's smart, honestly. So we'll see how it goes for Muhammad Amini, but good size forward that can create for himself. I think he should have been drafted for sure, but going back to France, so no need to mention him right now. He may come back next year. 69. Nope, he got drafted. All right, Jaden Henley. I will mention him. My 68th ranked player, signed with the Pistons. He came from Grand Canyon, 6'7", 18-6 per game. Nice handles, good jump shot, nice forward. Plays a little street ball style, but really good player. If he would have played at a bigger school, he could have probably been drafted. But if he gets a consistent shot, you have something with Jaden Henley. Like I said, 27% from three. That hurt him, and Grand Canyon hurt him. He was 35% from three the previous year, but teams didn't feel confident enough to select him. So next on my list is Noam Yakov, another international prospect that we talked about. Good enough to be drafted, just needed a few minor tweaks. He is deciding to actually go back to college. He signed with the University of Utah, and so we may see him again next year. And that's just a tweak in the system that's being allowed to happen these days. So it's unfortunate, but I mean, it is and it isn't unfortunate, I guess. Number 73 on my list, Michael Ajayi, the 6'7" from Butler, signed a two-way contract with the Hornets. Good for him. He has great size at 6'7", averaged 16 and 11 at Butler, 1 steal and 1 block. Unfortunately, 26% from three, but he's not a three-point shooter, but he does everything else well. He played at the combine before. He's just a fully grown man, great hustler and defender, moves his feet very well. So it's surprising he got a two-way because there's some things he needs to work on, but it's also not surprising. It's because he was ranked 73rd for me, so that's borderline draftable. I really think there were 85 guys draftable in this class, and that's only 60 spots. So, and then they gave one away to somebody going back to college. So what can you do? All right, next on my list, Riley Kugel. He signed a Exhibit 10 contract with the Clippers, and he's a solid prospect. I thought he was good, but I understand why he wasn't drafted. Not really ready yet, but has good traits, good qualities to take a year or two, and then he'll be in the NBA for sure. Next on my list, and have him ranked at 75, Xavier Lee. Really good point guard out of Florida, 6'3". Only averaged 11 points, had 4 boards, 4 assists, and a steal per game. The three-point shooting was what got him. 29% from three. He did shoot 35% at the previous season, but teams want to see consistency with that. He was super dynamic at Princeton. He came to Florida, had to tune the game down a little bit, and he helped them get really far in the run of 64. But great handles, nice finishes at the rim. And like I said, he signed with the Cavs on Exhibit 10. He has an opportunity. The Cavs do have a lot of ball handlers, so they drafted some last year that were really good. He's going to have an uphill battle to make some noise in the NBA. 76 on my list, BJ Edwards. But trust me, BJ Edwards is a guy that's pretty much in the 60s or 70s. Really good prospect. Signed with the Kings on Exhibit 10. Averaged 13, 6, and 5 with 2 steals per game from SMU. Smart point guard, great handles, good shooter, passer, rebounder, nice creator, good court vision. BJ Edwards, I think he has a chance on the Kings. The Kings really need a point guard play, and we'll see what happens with that. Next on my list, Trey Donaldson from Miami, 6'2". That's what hurt him, but signed a 2-way contract with the Heat. So, that's really good. Like some of these guys I'm mentioning are Exhibit 10s. He got a 2-way, and he's ranked a little bit lower than them, but he's a little short, really good passer, really good shooter, good steal creator, nice handles, elaborate spin moves and crossovers, but he didn't really create much space. That's what worried me. So I'm not surprised he didn't get drafted. I'm a little surprised he got a 2-ways, but the Heat see something in him, and Trey Donaldson. 78 on my list, Ernest Uday signed a 2-way contract with the Cavs. And this is a guy I struggled because I had him being drafted. And then there was just so many other guys like, should this guy go in? This guy go in? And so he easily was a draftable prospect. I'm not surprised Ernest Uday had a 2-way. 6'11" from Miami, 7 points, 9 boards, 1.5 blocks per game, 73% from the field. Not really a shooter, though. Rim protector, lob threat, rebounder. If that's what you're looking for, Ernest Uday is a nice selection for you. Similar with William Kyle, who signed an Exhibit 10 with the Lakers, 6'9", averaged 8, 7, and 1 with 2.5 blocks per game. Now, if you switch their heights, William Kyle's probably getting drafted because Ernest Uday is 6'11". That's what you want, but 1.5 blocks per game. William Kyle, 6'9", 2.5 blocks per game. So you have to wonder how that's going to translate in the NBA. Probably not getting 2.5 blocks per game as a 6'9" forward, But William Kyle, live threat, can jump a foot over the rim, good pick and roll player, excellent shot blocker, will contest any and everything, but his shooting is horrible. So that's why he didn't get drafted. That's probably why he doesn't have a two-way contract. But William Kyle, I really liked his film. He just needs some development. All right, next, 81 on my list, Tucker DeVries, Indiana, 6'7" forward, almost 8 threes per game, 33% from three, but shot 47% last year and 37% the 2 years prior. So he can shoot the lights out the ball. This last year was his worst three-point shooting, but I believe he is more like a 37 to 40% three-point shooter, has that nice size. And if I didn't say, he signed with the Celtics on the Exhibit 10 contract. Very smart signing by the Celtics. They love forwards that can shoot the ball. So there's an opportunity for him, but he will probably just strictly be a three-point shooter and great role player in the NBA. 82 on my list, Keyshawn Murphy, signed an Exhibit 10 with the Wizards. And I'm not going to go too much further on this because we're getting deep into the weeds. But if some of these guys you're fans of, you watch college basketball, you know some of these guys, you want to know where they landed. I'm just giving you a little update on them. Keyshawn Murphy, 6'10", from Auburn, 11-7 with a steal and a block per game. Good size and weight, but not strong with the ball in the paint. So even though he's 245, needs to get some weight on him. Solid shot blocker, good shooter, even hit a few threes sometimes. Has a great floater / shot, the push shot like Isaiah Hartenstein was using in the playoffs. Not really good at scoring on his own, but if he gets stronger, he can earn minutes in the NBA. The Wizards feel that same way. He just need a year of development, maybe two. Wizards may have something. Next on my list at 84, Donovan Atwell from Texas Tech, 6'5" guard, 13.5 points per game, 46% from three. 8 3-point attempts per game at 46% on 8 3-point attempts per game. That's insane. He's a lefty. He's a truly special shooter. You can't leave him open at all. And that's why I say it's 85 guys draftable in this class. I mean, it's crazy. Donovan Atwell is such a tremendous shooter. It's just teams were looking for certain things, and I guess shooting wasn't at the top of the list because there's a lot of great shooters that did not get drafted. They probably think they come a dime a dozen, or they already have people on the team for that. I don't know. But Donovan Atwell, very draftable. Signed an Exhibit 10 for the Bulls, and that is the main thing the Bulls need is shooting. So don't be surprised if you see Donovan Atwell on the court this year. Probably the last guy I'm going to give you details about, Aaron Nkrumah. He had a lot of news and notes about him after the combine. Signed an Exhibit 10 contract with the Nuggets. 6'6", 175 pounds, averaged 18 points, 5.5 boards, 3 steals per game, shot 35% from three. Elite steal creator, good rebounder, good scorer. He was at a small school at Tennessee State. That's what hurt him. He's 6'6", not really a shooting guard. He's kind of a forward, but undersized. He definitely seemed like a G League player to me that can use some work and work his way up to the NBA. So it's hard to judge people when they're in a small school, because he played great, 18-5 with 3 steals per game. That's incredible. But if you're at Tennessee State, it's different than being at Tennessee. So that hurt him. And I think he's not a polished, skillful player. He's more of a hustle player. And so that probably is what made him fall. But in Exhibit 10 for the Nuggets, I know he'll work his butt off to get out there. So Aaron Nkrumah at 85. The last player I'm going in depth about, but I'll mention a few more names. Duke Miles signed with the 76ers on Exhibit 10. Kiba Kita, Exhibit 10 with the Pacers. And I really do like Kiba, but he's an undersized big. Peter Suter signed a 2-way contract with the Lakers. He could be good, actually. 6'5" guard from Miami of Ohio. 42% from three. So they're always looking for that. Colin Boswell, Hornets, 2-way contract. Toby Awaka, Bulls, 2-way contract. Trey White, Miami Heat, Exhibit 10. And so it's a lot of guys getting signed. So if you didn't hear your guy gets called at the NBA draft, just know they're still going to get an opportunity with the G League, with the Summer League. Summer League is going to be very important to some of these guys. And I'm still looking to see any and everything about my guy, K. Tyson. So you hear about him, hit me up on Twitter at William S. Bill, because he should have been drafted. It's not right. He should be signed by now, but it is what it is. The NBA is tough, man. We need those 2 extra teams. So that is pretty much all the draft coverage right now. We're just going to wait to the Summer League and any off-season news and notes, and I'll be back with you guys. Thank you so much for listening and watching to the All Rookie Podcast. Check it out on YouTube, on X at William S. Bill, at Sports Ethos, and on Apple, Spotify, all that good stuff. Subscribe to the All Rookie Podcast. I appreciate you guys. It's been a great draft cycle. Been a lot of fun. The most fun is always interacting with you guys, answer your questions, responding to your criticism sometimes, your shots at me. And but mainly y'all give me a lot of love, and I appreciate it. And that's what I do it for. So until next time, I'm out of here. Peace.